he says it's inspired by Pokemon. Now, this project is inspired by Pokemon the way the new Ghostbusters is inspired by the old Ghostbusters. It's actually just a copy that's worse. Here's the NFTs in question, Animoon NFTs. They just recolored the starter Pokemon.
Yeah, I was like, how could you look at this and not think that these were Pokemon? I would be hard pressed outside of the color schemes to be like, oh yeah, that's definitely 100% Pokemon. Like, this is Squirtle, right? And while y'all are doing that, I just want to watch Jake Paul promoting a massive scam. Because, you know, fuck Jake Paul.
Jake Paul was caught again promoting a scam, and someone's going to jail. Unfortunately, it's not Jake Paul. Take it back! However, it is a case we've done in the past. We called this way ahead of time, and I'm happy to say we're adding another name to the Hall of Shame. Scammers have been arrested after being exposed on CoffeeZilla, so stay tuned for that. But first, we want to talk about Jake Paul promoting an NFT scam to fans, reportedly for $6.3 million. And look, I know, feels like Groundhog Day at this point, talking about Jake Paul and scams. I mean, if you want to describe Jake Paul to somebody, you say he's an influencer maybe first, and then you might, like, I was thinking about this, you'd have to say he's a scammer second, boxer third.
I would probably say accused of sexual assault third, fourth boxer.
Technically has scammed more times than he's boxed professionally in his life. So I don't know if he considers himself a professional boxer, but if he does, he's definitely a professional scammer more than he is that. So look, I get it. It's exhausting because we just keep catching him and he keeps getting away with it, sort of, right? Just to briefly go over it, we've talked about Stick Dicks, Board Bunny, Apes in Space, Safe Moon, Yummy, MILF Coin, Sad Boys, all of these scams or rug pulls or some kind of worthless coin. And this is how I know it's getting to be too much for everybody. That last project, Sad Boys, isn't even real. I made it up on the spot. And
I was like,
probably 90%
I hadn't even heard of that
you
one.
didn't notice.
I
because
didn't.
it's just as stupid as all the others. It just fits right in. So I guess I want to explain real quick, why are we covering this? Well, I know it's easy to get jaded about the fact that these people very rarely face consequences for their actions or scams. And that's why actually I want to cover it. I will cover Jake Paul. You know, if you're gonna promote scams, I will expose you until something happens. So until something happens, basically. I don't care what. Until he gets a slap on the wrist, something. We're going to keep covering it, even though I know we've been here before. So today, the scam we're talking about is Animoon. He was caught promoting this. It's a Pokemon knockoff. It's just like stealing money from people who are fans of Pokemon. Anyway, here's the promotion.
Animoon team, it's great to be a part of this project. I love the designs inspired by Pokemon, the whole 9 yards. Me, personally, I'm going to try to get a legendary during the public mint. But y'all better not miss this.
All right, so he says two things there that are really important.
You know what sucks is that, like, how many Jake Paul fans still have money to give? Like, if you're on to the fifth scam now, I mean, I'm guessing you got excited by the last four. At some point or another, you put a bunch of your hard-earned dollars into there, or your parents' hard-earned dollars. I don't know where his audience still skews, and now you got to do it a sixth time.
One, he's part of the project, which I think is really interesting. He's not saying I'm promoting it. He's saying I'm part of it. And two, he says it's inspired by Pokemon. Now, this project is inspired by Pokemon the way the new Ghostbusters is inspired by the old Ghostbusters. It's actually just a copy that's worse. Here's the NFTs in question, Animoon NFTs. They just recolored the starter Pokemon.
Yeah, I was like, how could you look at this and not think that these were Pokemon? I would be hard pressed outside of the color schemes to be like, oh yeah, that's definitely 100% Pokemon. Like, this is Squirtle, right? Charizard? I guess this is supposed to be Pikachu.
Come on, okay. Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Pikachu. They actually added Supreme jerseys to these Pokemon. Others have visors or masks on. It just looks so stupid and childish. And you might naturally be wondering, who falls for this? You know, I know Jake Paul is like the sleaziest influencer promoter of all time. And so, like, who is actually buying this? And that's where it gets interesting. Because one of the promises of this NFT, of the legendary NFTs, was that they were going to generate revenue every month, $2,500 every month. It says right here on their website, which has now been deleted, 15 cards are legendary cards that will be automatically generating $2,500 every month for life to their owners. Sort of a Yang Gang style UBI if you get this 15 out of like 10,000 card. And so you can see why people...
I heard other bad news today. I don't know if you saw, but the agency that Anthony Hopkins works for apparently is one of those agencies that funnels celebrities into NFT projects and stuff. So I don't know if it was him or a handler, but he's now tweeting out to people like Snoop Dogg and others that he wants to get in on this whole NFT craze. So I know Anthony Hopkins, Sir Anthony Hopkins, is the next victim to fall to the crypto scheme.
People thought it was a good investment. After all, it only cost about $600 to mint each card, and if you got one of these legendaries, you were kind of set for life. $2,500 a month is no joke. And so you can see why a lot of people wanted to gamble and maybe try to figure out if they could find one, right? Get one by luck. It's sort of like a lottery ticket or something. Except, of course...
So this one plays out exactly like the Pokemon cards themselves, whereas like you could have a deck that has really, really valuable cards inside, or they could just be generic worthless ones, but you would spend the $2,500 a month subscription service and you would get the, I guess, their NFTs, so the leisure of a link to, the hyperlink itself to the pictures.
This was a scam because the founders never went through with it. This is despite the fact they claim that they have a signed NDA with Pokemon. They say that here. They say they take a percentage of the royalties. But when people asked for proof, there was, of course, none, which just makes it even weirder when Jake Paul says they were inspired by Pokemon. And then the project claims, well, they're actually collaborating with Pokemon. And then Pokemon's has nothing to do with it.
Except you can play the game and have them physically, and also it won't bankrupt you most likely. If you bought a pack of cards, I'm guessing one pack of cards is not gonna really change your life too much. But if you spent $2,500 for the 1 month subscription service, even if you bowed out right afterwards, it's probably gonna make a big of a dent, I would assume.
Make no mistake, this was a rug pull. They promised the world, they promised Pokemon partnerships, and it was all a lie. And it ended up raking in $6.3 million scammed from investors. Wow. So that's the story there. And at this point, you have to wonder, with such a legacy of promoting scam projects, at what point is someone going to step in and really kind of crack down on this? I know that's what I was thinking. And so it's what brought me to my second story today, which is of somebody who got arrested after thinking he could get away with it forever, because he had been getting away with it. You may remember this story. It's about OpenSea, which is an NFT trading platform. I know we're pivoting a bit, but it's all going to tie in together. So this is a story we did a little while ago about a guy named Nate Chastain, who was one of the executives at OpenSea. And because of insider knowledge that he had about these NFTs that they were going to launch, every time they launched an NFT, it would explode in value on one of their like promotion pages. So Nate would end up insider trading on those NFTs before they hit the page, because he knew they were going to hit, and he made a lot of money this way. And he got away with it for a while. Well, right up until he didn't. This just in, the DOJ charges former OpenSea exec in an insider trading scheme. On the DOJ's website, they call this the first ever digital asset insider trading scheme. So we are making history here. And basically, Nate is charged with 1 count of wire fraud and 1 count of money laundering because of this, each of which carry a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison, meaning Nate could potentially face 40 years in prison because of this trading scheme. Now, of course, he probably won't get that, maybe get 5 or 10, but it sets a huge precedence for those who think they can just keep getting away with it. So that's why I want to welcome Nate to the Hall of Shame, which is a new segment that we're introducing here today. He's going to join Jay Mazzini, the other influencer who went to jail for these schemes. So can we just get a little moment of silence for these two? Rest in pieces, boys. So in conclusion, guys, I know it looks bleak. I know it looks like these guys just get away with scheme after scheme.
Schemes.
But eventually, after catching you multiple times, eventually you may pay the price.
Yeah, but I think people like Jake Paul, unfortunately, they're not in that part of the I don't know, the latter. Because like I think just he has plausible deniability. It's like I just got paid like $2 million by these guys to promote this thing. I didn't know they were going to do this. I had no idea it was going to be a scam. Like I was just paid to promote it. That was my role in this.
Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form, available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out apparently, and it's free. Just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Just, we are prepared to embark on a mighty jihad in your name. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your humble jester, attempting in vain to get you to laugh. To our valiant knights of the round table, Benji Arnie, Tech Tink, Scary Earth Human, Tony, DM Rivera, Resident Scarecrow, Sir Nickus, Mayred, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Brandon, Words Greenwood. It doesn't matter what I believe, it only matters what I can prove. Egbert Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Coulter Smith, Jenna Tao, Quiet 185, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, The Tim Caucus, Multimondi, Trevbot, EXE, Brian Ephraim, Lemmy101, Anthropophojack, Saren42, Catherine, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, Agent NDN, Violent Orchard, Political Puppy, La Media Panza, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our mugs and salute our brave heroes off to another glorious conquest.